This programme has been in part funded by Visit Cornwall.
Well, welcome to this week's Cornwall channel here on Sky Channel 189 and on our Facebook page. I'm Shane Solomon.
And I'm Mike Spinks, and welcome to our Halloween special. It's what's coming up on today's show.
Emlyn Glamour Harris brings us his feature on Pengersic Castle. Where is the most haunted part of Bodmin Jail? We find out with Chris Wilkes. In Newquay this week, zombies were everywhere.
So we've got a very scary show lined up for you this week. Hey, Spinks.
Yeah, lots of great stuff. Obviously down at Bodmin Jail, very creepy. Also over at Pengersic Castle, a great haunted location here in Cornwall, and the zombie walk down at Newquay.
Yes, Ella Jo brings us that report today here on the Cornwall channel for the very first time. Great to have Ella on the show. Now, we just want to say a massive thank you to all you guys who tune in every week, and viewers' pictures of the week. I've got to show these on screen because these are some guys enjoying the St Dennis band feature that we played last week on the channel. So thank you very much for sending them in. And of course, if you want to feature your pics on here on our Cornwall Channel Sky Show, then just send them in to us on our Facebook page.
Yeah, definitely. And as you can see, we've made a little bit of an effort today for our Halloween special. Well, some of us a little more than others, perhaps, but
yeah. Well, I had it all planned.
Creepy.
I had it all planned, and turns out that I threw away my Beetlejuice wig because it was too hot for my bald head at a gig in London. So I thought, no, I'll leave that. But mate, talk me through it.
So this is reliving a bit of a childhood dream of mine. Back when I was a youngster, Ghostbusters, my favourite cartoon on TV, and then when the film came out, I was a little bit young back, but when I first saw it anyway, I was just in awe of it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to make a bit of an effort.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a little picture here of you.
Yeah,
in those days. Here we go. Here's Mr. Spinks, back in the day, living his childhood dream.
Dressed up.
But now the new generation of Spinks, your little boy.
Yeah, so Henry's now here, and I thought I'd get him in on the whole idea
so here
as
he
well.
is.
So
here he is.
Little Henry, all dressed up.
Oh, dear of him.
Yep.
Too cute.
Father and son, all ready to bust ghosts.
Well, don't forget, you can get in touch with us on our Facebook pages and on our Twitter pages, Instagram, we're on all the social media. We'd love to hear from you. So, Mr. Spinks, you want to introduce the first piece?
Yep, so coming up now, one of the most haunted castles here in Cornwall is Pengersic Castle. Take a look.
The coastal resort of Prey Sands is set amidst an area of outstanding natural beauty. Its mile-long expanse of golden sands making it the ideal holiday destination for families and surfers.
And yet, what many visitors and locals alike don't realise is that on their way to the beach, they pass by a unique building. A building so full of history, mystery and intrigue that it's become part of Cornish legend. And today, its reputation as one of the most haunted places in the whole of the UK attracts visitors from far and wide. Welcome to Pengersic Castle. The family Pengersic can be traced back to the 12th century, and William de Pengersic, who was cartulary to the monastery at nearby St Michael's Mount, the collector of deeds and the registrar of titles. But it is Henry Pengersic who in 1330 gave rise to the first of many legends about the castle.
David de Lyspin, the vicar of nearby Breed Church, accompanied by brother Thomas, a monk from the monastery at Hale, called at the manor one day to gather tithes, an annual voluntary contribution to the church which was, in reality, an obligatory tax. A disagreement ensued, a violent altercation which left the vicar gravely wounded.
Henry Pengersic was excommunicated from the church for his attack on the clergyman, and shortly afterwards stories began to circulate that he had forsaken his Christian beliefs, that he consorted with witches and devils, that he practiced the black arts, that he had welcomed the devil into his home and his heart. Whether Henry did indeed practice necromancy or whether it was just a rumour put about by the church to punish the Pengersic family, we shall never know. But 2 years later, Wounds having healed and duties being paid, Henry received absolution by special permission of the Pope. One of the castle's famous ghosts is that of a black-robed monk who is seen walking the grounds towards the castle, perhaps calling for his tithes for all eternity. As soon as you enter this historic building, it's clear that it was built for refuge and defence. The walls are a metre thick and solid granite, and above the doorway is a drop slot for dispelling boiling oil or other noxious substances on unwanted callers. But through here, the gun room, this was built purely for defence. The 6 arched embrasures are very similar to the gun loops at Pendennis Castle, which date from about the 1540s, but these are quite unlike the general run of West Country 15th or early 16th century loops. The dumbbell shape is a peculiarly Scottish design, and the nearest match for these loops are to be found at Treve Castle in Galloway. Another Pengeswick mystery. Let's go up the stairs to the first floor. A Grade 1 listed broad granite newel staircase of 65 steps, a masterly work of construction, leads upwards to the 3 domestic chambers above. Climbing the stairs to the first floor, we enter into what is now the music room, and the importance of this chamber can be gauged by this magnificent fireplace in the south wall. Originally, this chamber would have been the solar, a private chamber for the use of the head of the household, or more usually by the senior women of the household, a room in which they could be alone or sole and away from the hustle and the bustle and the noise and the smells of the great hall, which originally stood alongside the tower. The main ceiling beams in this chamber are exceptionally large, and the coarse and knotty timber indicates they've been hewn from a hedgerow tree and not from managed woodland. Climbing the stairs to the second floor, we enter the bedroom, and it is here in this chamber that many visitors have experienced firsthand the paranormal activity for which the castle is renowned. Rita Radcliffe Marshall, the chair of the Pengeswick Historic and Education Trust, cast a little light on the strange occurrences. So, how many presences are there here at the castle, Rita?
At any one time there can be 27 presences.
Good grief.
Not all in this room, in various other rooms of the castle.
How many in the bedroom itself?
Possibly about 9.
Right.
Some come up here from the solar and then go back down to the solar. One presence in particular is known to go up to the roof. That's the presence we call the dancing girl.
We were talking about this earlier on. This is an automatic drawing that was done by one of the dowsers.
That's correct.
And we think this might be of the girl who died.
Possibly.
On a fall from the roof.
She was dancing on the roof and she went over to look at over the top, and the wind caught under her skirts and she fell to her death.
And there's people that still see her to this day?
Not sure that they see her, but people have certainly felt her.
Right.
Some people get the urge to start to dance, and she will lead them up to the top of the tower.
Crikey.
So a dangerous presence.
Yes. And you said there are other presences in this room. There's one by the spinning wheel?
There's a presence we call Hannah by the spinning wheel. There is a small boy by the jar over there. There are several presences on the bed. The bed did not come from the castle. That was bought by Angela,
right.
The owner of the castle. Possibly about 2 presences on that bed.
And you run sort of haunted nights here, ghost nights?
Regularly throughout the summer, yes.
And so how many people come on a ghost night?
We can accommodate 25 people at any one time for insurance purposes.
Right.
They spend time in the grounds and in various rooms of the castle. They do darkness vigils. We teach them how to use the dowsing rods, and hopefully that they will pick up some information.
Right.
But we can't guarantee that the ghost will perform on the night.
But people do experience?
People do experience lots of things here. They'll experience cold spots, being pushed, maybe having their clothing tugged. The presence of the small boy does like to go to women and pull. If they've got a skirt, he will gently pull the skirt. Right. And we think that he's just maybe looking for his mother.
And do people take photographs, obviously?
They will just take random shots,
okay.
Both in daylight and in dark, in the dark.
Yeah.
And then they will analyse the photographs, and sometimes they will get an orb, which we think is the first manifestation of a spirit presence.
Right. You were saying earlier that some people were here over the weekend and took some photos, and there's some sort of weird things that have come up in the photos they've taken.
That's right. They took a photograph from the garden looking towards the tower, and what appears to be a face looking out of the window back at them. Further inspection proved that there was absolutely nothing in the window at the time.
So there was nobody in the room?
Nobody in the room at the time, no.
Today, the tower and a fragment of the gatehouse are all that's left of Pengezic's great flowering. Its heyday came shortly after 1527, when a Portuguese ocean-going ship, the St Anthony, was wrecked in a violent storm down the coast at Cornwall. The then owner of Pengezic, John Millerton, and two other local landowners, William Godolphin and Thomas St Alban of Clowants, joined forces to relieve the ship of its cargo, which, unexpectedly, contained a great amount of gold. The St Anthony was the personal property of King John III of Portugal and the flagship of his fleet, and its cargo is thought to have included the dowry of his bride, Princess Catherine. King John appealed to Henry VIII for the return of his property, and there's some evidence that Henry ordered that all that was salvaged from the wreck should be returned to Portugal, though, unfortunately, much of it seemed to have gone missing. In the years that followed the wreck, the three beneficiaries, who were men of position and rank, extended their estates and their houses quite considerably. Pengezic was occupied until the 17th century, but then fell into disrepair, and by the 18th century was a ruin. Its stonework reused in the adjacent farm buildings and 19th century farmhouse. The tower survived as a retreat and reputedly as a lookout for smugglers.
In 1970, the castle was bought by Angela Evans, whose research and restoration saved this unique building. Since her death in 2008, Pengezic has been managed by the Pengezic Trust, who are carrying on with her wishes to preserve the magic and mystery of this unique building. As for the ghosts, I'm sure they'll be true to the spirit of the place.
So it's great to have Emlyn Glenmore Harris back on the Cornwall channel. He is so good. We hope you enjoyed that.
It is definitely you under there, isn't it? I mean, can we just have a quick double check?
It's definitely me. It's definitely me.
He's there.
It's definitely me. So we're going to have a break now.
You can put it back on there.
Okay, it's an improvement, right?
So,
Okay. Yeah, you carry on.
you all good?
Yep.
Right. We're going to take a short break. We'll see you in a bit.
Hi, I'm Peter Giddins from Biffa Cornwall. We are passionate about keeping Cornwall clean and tidy with our highly rated waste collection service. Biffa Cornwall offer full county coverage for all waste streams. Supporting organisations such as the Cornish Pirates and Children's Hospice South West is a key focus for our business. To discuss your current requirements, we would love to hear from you.
Since 1994, independent estate agent Jackie Stanley and her team have been looking after property owners and buyers from the Harbourside office in Padstow. Covering a whole of North Cornwall, it's important to Jackie that great care and attention is paid to all clients, and that herself and her staff go the extra mile to achieve satisfaction for her buyers and sellers alike. Honesty, integrity and discretion are key in our outstanding sales record. Visit Jackie Stanley online or pop in and see her in Padstow. We provide quality training and health and safety consultancy services to the people of Cornwall and the South West. We support individuals and organisations to be the best they possibly can be. Cornwall Training and Consultancy, to learn, grow and succeed.
Let Sequoia support you to manage your employees so you can focus on what matters in your business, both personally and professionally. We can take the mystery out of employment law and provide easy to understand solutions for businesses to help get the best out of their employees, whilst being compliant with the law. We are a safe pair of hands when you need it most. Visit sequoia.com.
Need a drone? Or a smaller drone? Or a bigger drone? Or maybe a battery, memory card, bag, or merch? Or whatever these are, to help you get shots like this. This, or even this. Or you can even win £2,500 to spend in store or online in our monthly competition for only £2 per entry. Get everything you need at hobbymounts.co.uk.
For great food, friendly accommodation and delicious local ales, come to the Griffin Inn in Newquay. Our Cornish restaurant and bar menu offers a traditional menu incorporating homemade dishes using fresh local produce wherever possible. Not forgetting our very popular Sunday carvery and sizzling steak nights. It is the ideal place to stay for business, a holiday or a short break in Cornwall. Visiting Cornwall, think the Griffin Inn Newquay.
Well, welcome back. It's always nice to have a little bit of an ad break, and thank you to all our advertisers in the show. We do appreciate your support very, very much. We also love to hear from you, our viewers, as well, and we'll feature your pictures. If you send them in of you with your TV watching our show, we'd love to feature you guys on our show. So just make sure you send them in via our Facebook page.
Definitely, and if you miss the show on Sky, you can always catch up on our Facebook page as per usual every Monday night from 7 p.m.
Now, what we really like about our viewers is they let us know places that they'd like to see us go, and that's no exception to this next piece, because we got to go to Bodmin Jail.
Yeah, so Shane popped down to see some of the most haunted parts of the jail. Cracking little story. Take a closer look.
So as Halloween approaches here in Cornwall, we got asked by you, our viewers, why don't we come down to Bodmin Jail and find out the most haunted parts of the jail? Thanks for that. So we're here, we're going to have a look around, catch up with Chris Wilkes and find out which are the most haunted parts of the jail. Size of these doors. So we're joined here now with Chris Wilkes, no stranger to the Cornwall channel. Great to see you.
Thank you.
So Halloween in Cornwall, everyone's doing their thing, and they've messaged us and said, look, why don't you get down to Bodmin Jail and find out, you know, some of the stories of any activity down at the jail. So what can you tell us, Chris?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be just Halloween to get activity here, as you well know.
True.
It's a fairly busy venue at night, is this jail, and actually even during the day. The room that we're sat in now, the former prison chapel, you can walk up here in the early morning, having just opened up. And over there, from where the picture of the chaplain is to the door, no word of a lie. I've seen people in grey, a man in a grey suit, literally just walking across there. And also at another time, coming down the staircase, it almost looked like a bat, but it wasn't there, just this sort of flying black mass that just disappeared again. So, yeah, and it's even over my shoulder in the toilets. They weren't originally the loos over there, but that reputedly is the scene of a major assault and a possible murder when this was a slightly less than salubrious drinking den in the 60s.
It's one of those rooms, it's full of so much character, and you just get that sense that you want to know that something's here in a way. It's one of those, isn't it?
You're right, because again, if you think about this, when this was a jail, this was a very harsh regime. It was a total institution.
Yeah.
Through the door down there, you had entry for civil prisoners from the male landings. Up there, the women would have been brought in, and when they weren't in chapel, through the door up there, naval prisoners. Behind us, in the balconies, families of serving officers. So, yeah, this was the heart of the institution.
Chris, take us to another place.
Let's go. Now let's just bring you into what started when the jail was running, actually as the governor's office, so across here. Again, early in the morning, it's quite funny. If you're down there, looking up this way, peripheral vision, you just see somebody, grey image, just sat there. Double take, not there. And again, when this was, but again, when this was set up as the restaurant at this end and there were tables either side, quite often people who were sat here would almost get a feeling of there was somebody behind, just somebody behind them there. Yeah? So, obviously, it's imprints of the past. Let's bring you past the condemned cell. Last used 1909 for William Hampton, a 24-year-old miner from St Earth, who'd strangled his 17-year-old girlfriend in a house they shared together. Okay, so we just walked past the second condemned cell. Let me take you and show you this space. That's not just any doorway.
It looks like any doorway.
It's not just any doorway.
Talk to me, Chris.
First used in 1878 by Marwood, the executioner, to dispatch a lady called Selina Wadge, who'd murdered her young disabled baby boy to eternity, straight out the door.
So do people actually pick up any energy here?
There are people that do pick up energy here. They will pick up a female energy here, and they may well pick up a female energy that's attached to children. She was in deep regret for her crime, and she went out clutching a white handkerchief that was still in her hand when the drop had taken place. Anyway, come on, let me show you something else. Now, there's plenty that happened down here.
Did you hear that?
Here, this archway, this has been a great centre of activity. We've got a photograph where you can quite clearly see, it's a partial manifestation, where literally, about my height, you've got a head, torso, arms, trunk, and part of a right leg. Caught on film.
Incredible.
And actually, most recently, even just over through that doorway and round to the other side, our heritage guide, 2 weeks ago now, was at the top of the stairs and heard somebody saying, "Get out, get out, get out," and
so that
thought,
freaked me right out.
But no, she genuinely thought that it was a family down here, and it was Dad's instruction to the children: "Get out, come on, get moving." And then she heard it again, so she came downstairs thinking, oh, maybe they just need a bit of a pointer. There was nobody here at all.
Creepy, it is, honestly. Right.
Can you feel the air moving?
Yeah, I can. Let's go out here.
Come on, let's go.
So if you're looking for an eerie part of the jail, this is it for me, the execution pit. Chris, tell us about this area.
Yeah, no word of a lie. I said this before, sometimes again, early in the morning when it's peaceful, you come out having opened up, stood on the steps there, look across, double take. I've seen a guy sat on a wooden bench, look again, there's nobody there. Yeah. And obviously behind us, the execution pit.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for showing us around. And we couldn't think of anywhere else to come for Halloween than Bodmin Jail, so thank you very much. Pleasure. And of course, you can make up your own mind about this wonderful jail by popping down here anytime you like. And yeah, check them out. Quite eerie. Oh, that place is so eerie.
Proper creepy.
But they make you feel so welcome down there. Chris Wilkes, Martin, the team at Bodmin Jail.
Oh, it's a great venue to go and just have a look around. Really interesting, really interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what is interesting. We went down to Newquay on Saturday, and we've got some highlight clips of it. And in my little earpiece here, Ella Jo is down there. Ella, have you arrived safely?
I am here safely, thanks Shane. So I'm in wonderful Newquay today. The sun is coming out and it's all very Halloween themed in here today, and in fact all through the town. So I thought I'd just pop in for a cup of tea and then go outside and check out what's going on. I think there might be some zombies out there.
Right, okay, let's try again. So, are you there?
I'm just going to wait for my tea and see what happens.
Your tea, madam.
me. Where are the zombies? Are the zombies?
As I know, they're coming up that way, so if you head down the street, you will find them somewhere.
Brilliant. Let's go hunting. Thank you. I think I've found them. Great turnout in Newquay today. There's been people dressed in all sorts of attire, all very scary. I think it's almost getting a little bit too scary for me now. So back to you in the studio, Shane.
Well, thank you very much, Ella. And there you go, our little report there from Newquay and all the community coming together like that to do something like that.
Great costumes as well, so people dressed up really nicely. And we're also thinking about doing a What's On guide as well. So if you've got anything coming up, let us know. Chuck it in those comments on Facebook or even send us an email and we'll try and get it in the show. So that's pretty much it. From me, Mike Spinks.
And from me, Jake Conway. Thanks for watching.
This programme has been in part funded by Visit Cornwall.
With over 1,000 vehicles from 7 manufacturers, look no further than Hawkins. So whether it's practicality, comfort, space, or something special, we've got your perfect match. Hawkins, making it easy for you.
Are you missing calls? 75% of people don't like leaving answer phone messages. What opportunities could you be missing out on in your business? Fonetta Business offers a solution with its telephone answering service. Our dedicated business team answer your calls as your business and can text or email you straight away. From as little as £1 per call, can you afford to miss your next customer? Contact us to try our 14-day free trial now. Fonetta. Communication made easy.